Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we will look at problem 1647 from Leetcode. So here is the problem statement. Try to solve this on your own before we look at my solution together. If you look at the official solutions for this problem, I think there were some people use like priority queue and heap. I mean that certainly works, but I think this approach is a bit faster, and I think this is a lot simpler to think about. I think so this is one approach, and if you want to learn more about other approaches solving this problem, you can go to that comment section, discuss section for this problem, and you can read what other people wrote for this. You can read what other people wrote for their solution on this problem. I think it is helpful to have different ways of solving this kind of problem. Let's look at my solution then. So we are given a string s, and we want to first count how many times we have seen like these individual characters. So in other words, let's say our example is like this bunch of letters. We have 3 A's, 3 B's, 3 C's, 3 D's, and 3 E's. So this is our S. The first thing we will do is we will initialize an array. We will call that an array counter, and this counter has a length of 26, and that's because in alphabet we have 26 characters. So, and then we initialize them to be all 0. Now, and then the next we will be iterating on our S, and then for each letter we will update this counter array. So this counter array, so this 0 will correspond to the number of times we have seen letter A. The 1, like this index 1, that corresponds to letter B, and we will count how many times we have seen B so far. So the way we do that is in Python we can use this ORD function. So what it does is, I think this ORD of like letter A it gives you like 96, something like that. So and then B will be something like 97, C will be 98. In this case we have E, like S of 13 is E for this example. Order of E minus order of A will give you like something like 5, or yeah, should be 5, yeah. And then we will update that by adding 1 to the existing value. And then when you do that on letter S, we get something like this. So we have 3's for the first 5 positions, and then all 0's for the rest. Okay, so that's the first step, and we will create a set. So we will have a set, and then we will iterate again on our counter array, not S, but counter array. And we will do the two things. As we iterate on this, if this number 3 is not in our counter set, then we add that number to our counter set, and we move on to the next one. Now the difficult case is when the count is already in the counter set. Notice that if that's the case, then we have to decrement our current count by 1 and see if that number, so in that case will be count minus 1, if it is still in our set. If it is, then we do have to decrement it again, and then we do that until we either have a situation where the new number, the modified number, is not in our counter set, so we add that to our counter set, or it becomes 0. So either that's one of those two ways that this will happen. So let's look at some small simulation of how this is really working. So this is our counter array, and then this one is our counter set, and then here we have a number of deletions, and this is the answer that we will return. And so we are on our first number, and because our counter set is empty, so we just add this one to our counter set. And the number of deletion is 0 because, well, there is nothing that we didn't do anything about like decrementing these numbers. So number of deletion is 0. Now we will be at B. Now 3, here for B the value was 3, but notice that we already have 3 in our counter set. So we do have to decrement this number by 1. That will give you 2, and 2 is not in our counter set, so we add 2 to our counter set, and we update our number of deletions by 1. Basically, since we decrement this by 1, we do have to increment our number of deletion by 1. Now we are on C. Notice that 3 is already in our counter set. That's from A. So we do decrement this by 1, so that's 2, but 2 is also in our counter set. So we do have to decrement this again, and 1 is not in our counter set. So we do add 1 to our counter set, and we do have to increment number of deletion by 2. So because we decrement this twice, so we do add 2 to existing number of deletions, so we get 3. Now we are at, so this one should be here. So now we are at 4th position, D, and so 3 is in our set, we decrement this again. 2 is in our set, decrement this again. 1 is in our set, so we decrement this again. Now then we get 0, but then 0 is not, in the problem statement it says 0 can be ignored. So here it says frequency of 0 is ignored. So okay, so we have a 0, and well, that's it. We don't add D to our counter set, but then we do have to make what, 3. We do have to decrement this 3 times, so we do have to add 3 to our number of deletions, so that's why we get 6. If you look at the code, so like that part where we do have to keep decrementing our counter number, so that part will be done by like inner while loop, so something like this. So we initialize our counter array by this guy, by this, and then we do the linear scan and construct this counter array, and then we have a result like this variable that we will return. We have a set here, and then as we iterate on our counter array, we do have, like, the easiest case is if the number is not in our counter set, then we just simply add the number to our counter set. Otherwise, we do have to, we create a local variable, and then we have a while loop, and then we will be keep decrementing count variable until we get either 0, or if count is in our counter set, it's not in our counter set. When one of those two cases happen, we exit the while loop, and then we just add whatever the new number count to our counter set, and then we also increment we also add the whatever deletion count we have to our result. So that is for this problem, and let's see the code. Here is the code, and let's run this together. Okay, so that is for this problem. If my video helps you guys understanding this problem, please subscribe to my channel, and if you have questions, you are more than welcome to write the questions in the comment section, and if I know the answer to your questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. If I do not know the answer, I will just tell you guys that I don't know the answer. That's for this video, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.